Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Widgets from CZT Kate Ahrens. I hope I pronounced that right, or at least close. Okay, this is a cute one, and could be a nice filler. Lots of uses. It makes actually kind of goes a little bit with CO2 that we did a couple days ago. So this starts off, and so you can just place these. Oh, what? No, I'm gonna. No, let me do this because I feel like it. I'm gonna do my 4 corner dots and a border line. And if you don't know why we do those, find a CZT that has well, we call them different things. It just depends on the teacher and what they want to call their classes, right? I call mine Zentangle Essentials. Check my website, which link is in the description below, and I'm going to be trying to have one maybe once a quarter, unless there is an enormous extra demand. We'll keep things open for that. But anyway, so you can learn the method that is Zentangle. It's an 8-step. There's lots of philosophy with the methodology, and if you're enjoying Zentangle, you owe it to yourself to at least take it once, so that way you get a good feel for what it's all about behind the awesome Tangle and the awesome Zentangle art that's created. You can also purchase they have 2 books, Zentangle Primer. That kind of almost walks you right through the class. But sometimes it's nice to have somebody that you can ask questions of. There's also the Book of Zentangle. Highly recommend both of them. All right, so starts off with just some orbs, different places, scattered, however you want to do them. I'm trying to not make it look like a dice. All right, that'll help. Every time I was doing it, I have a like a 5. So it looked like a die. Oh my goodness. All right, and whenever you feel like you're done, then you can go to the next step, or you could do some, then continue the steps, and then maybe fill in more if you want to, just as a strategy, because you need to make sure there's enough room around them, because we're going to do stuff around them. Which first is just putting a bigger orb. It does not have to be center. We call them orbs because if we said circle, that contains too much pressure. To do something like perfect. All right, we're not about perfect, and that's another reason to get those books, because there's a lot on that. In fact, at our Tangle Addicts group, there's had been a discussion, and I put some stuff from their books in, and it's just like, anyway, I'll not start down the don't worry about things being perfect soapbox. So, all right, when you have all of these set, then just and you pick the side. I'm picking the right side of these orbs, and we're just putting like a little crescent like that, and filling it in. If your orbs end up like mine, where like this, where I have these tails, that's always like right here. That's a great place. It's a course correction. It's a great place to put them. So as you see, this makes them look like makes them look 3D a bit. And we're not really doing anything on the outside, because if you really wanted to go down that route, because there's something else that we do on the outside. All right. There we go. So then on the outside, let me do one that looks like the what Kate has in her step out, and I'm just gonna assume that this is how she did it, and we'll just start right here. I did it 2 ways. I started off doing this, where I made like a bit of a curve line going up and then coming down, kind of using the takeoff and land idea on the orb. But then as I was playing, it's like, you know what? You can do this. You can just you don't have to pick up your pen even if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. Because here's what I noticed in her step out is that it seemed, because you can see in the red, that's always the part that you do. It seemed like there was red all the way around, and then these were rather thin, but they were thin, but thinner at the top than at the bottom. So that was my, that's what I surmised as far as how she did it, because it's not expressly put there. And if you're like me, I like to know all of those little details. You know, and I think that's why I get on the, I don't want to say anti-perfectionism, but I will, anti-perfectionism soapbox, because the thing about wanting to do things right, and there is no right or wrong in Zentangle. There's, like I said, there's a lot of philosophy behind all of that. So, but I like to know, and it's okay. And if you're like that, it's okay. But what I'm striving for is to not get hung up on it. Kind of like identify it and go, okay, well okay, great, and then I can move on, and it's wonderful. So, however you want to do it is fine. I was also, thinking you could, and I'm going to do this one up here because I'm going to spread them out. You could do just little spokes, little straight lines coming out. Now it's starting to look like an eyeball. Makes me think of, there's a tangle called Lily Eyes. And then you could add the rounding at the base if you want. That honestly takes a lot more work. So never mind that. But if you want thin, okay, I'm gonna go over what I did, because this is way easier, and that's one of the things that we want to have. We want it to be easy. We want it to be easy on your hand as well, which is why we turn the tile. I'm trying to make sure that you are not just seeing my thumb. I put a little angle on the camera so that way that should help. And it's like trying to, what do they call it, choking up on the, instead of like, I like to put my fingers right down low. Okay, so in Kate's step out, which if you look in the description section, you will see that listed as I write for more inspiration, and then that's the link to the originator of the tangle. Let's see. You know what? I kind of like this. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm working behind, sort of, that. And you're probably wondering, gosh, you're getting awful close to those other ones there. Yep. And I'll show you what we'll do for that. Ooh. Some brief activity outside. I don't know if you heard that. I'm on a main road, and so we hear all the noise. So in her step out, there, you can add, variations to this, like putting little balls on the end, little orbs or dots, depending on how big you're going. Those are underneath the border. And this is why, too, doing some of these in steps, because these guys, I'm going to hollow bow. So I'm doing some, and I'm just going to stop. Well, no, I guess I can take that all the way out. Well, maybe I can kind of merge them in. Then they start looking like gears, don't they? But you could just, skip those spaces, where instead of, because you don't want to collide. Oh, like right here. And then maybe I'll just do little starts like that. Yeah, that works. So using the hollow bow technique, and if you're not familiar with hollow bow, it's a tangle in and of itself, but it's the I call it the art of drawing behind, and that's kind of what we did. And instead of going over, we just draw under. And if you go to my channel, which if you click on my name below the video here, that should take you to the channel, the homepage of the channel, and there you can search for particular tangles. You can, I have a bunch of playlists set up. categorizing. I have this set up the way my website is intended to be set up, where I'm categorizing the tangles in different ways. So like this one, I think I'm definitely going to put this in the steampunk, but because we're doing Happy New Year's tangles and I'm have like snowflakes on the brain, I was thinking this could, depending on how you decorate them, like this, could be a nice accent to, if you happen to be doing some snowflakes or something, it could look really nice with it. Again, just depending on how you do them. Let's see, I'm just going to leave that as such. And then too, like, the inside of mine, it gets a little bit sloppy, so feel free to redefine those lines. And that just means just going over it again. Another thing you could do with this is, which I thought was kind of neat, instead of putting an orb, it's just putting a little line like that, kind of a fat line. Like that. It's just neat. It's a neat tangle. All right, I have a couple more. And actually, like the orbs, let's see. Oh, an egg? Oh, wait. Yeah, also, you could. Well, take a look at it and you'll see the different, you'll see the different options. She did some where she decorated on the inside as well. And so that's an option. Also, more than one aura, more than one orb there. So yeah, take a look. And that's why I list it, because I think it's just a really fun idea to go and look and explore what the originator of the tangle did and what they intended, and it again, just to further inspire and give you great ideas. So as I finish this up, and let's see, shading. Well, I have just this one more. Let me tell you my end stuff while I do this one more. Every once in a while, I have to do that, so that way, because I know that myself, I click off of. It's like, oh, she's just gonna say that regular stuff about where to find information. So, again, in the description section, links to the step outs. Below those I have a link to my website, as well as our Facebook. We have a private Facebook community, so if you want to hang out and kibitz with some really fun tanglers, please join us. I do have a couple of required questions that are set up, so just know that you have to answer those to get in the door. I like this one. I'm going to put these lines on this one too. And I think that's it. So, except if you are interested, I do classes almost twice weekly. It just depends on the week, and would love to have you join us there as well. A lot of them are free. I do have a couple that are paid. I also have a membership club, so like a subscription. So if you like it enough to to do regular classes, do take a look at that. All right, I'm going to leave them all like that, and let's do this. I'm going to kind of copy what Kate has. We're just going to we'll do some shading just on the inside here. Although I'm very tempted. There we go. Yeah, and sometimes it just depends on what you feel like. So you can get right up in there and just kind of could make the whole insides be dark. I sometimes like to do this where I just do a little bit here and there, and not necessarily right up to. Like that kind of gives it a weathered-ish type look. Now, if you wanted to do inside, I would maybe pick a side, and I probably should have picked the opposite side. Maybe that'll work. Let's do it. We're just going to go with it. Because it doesn't matter. But it's nice to add a little extra dimension and life to things. Oh, yeah, yeah. And, and I don't know if I would normally um, do both of these, but it is kind of working, isn't it? Let's see when I get that in there. But you could go darker one way or the other. Here is a little secret. This is a colorless blender. If you thought they were only for colored pencils, I used to think that as well. Yes. Yeah, that just adds that little extra something without adding more graphite. It's just a neat idea. So you get to have a lot of fun with this. It is a neat tangle. It's cute. And I like Kate's sample on her step out as well. It just gives you some great ideas. I see a lot of different, in my head, a lot of different ways to use this. So if you enjoyed this, and I hope you did, would love to have you click like, and feel free to share it, leave comments, and if you liked it enough to see more, I'd love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I already mentioned the other stuff, so with that, thanks again so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.